what do you think in terms of keeping the house to refresh it or tear it down and replace it? What are your thoughts on that? Be curious to know.
Here we are, another old house. Good morning.
Same vintage.
They're protected in Pensacola and they're big and awesome.
They are, okay.
But they make you nervous when they go over the tree over the house.
I know.
You got to get permission and all this to remove them. And you really just don't want to.
Prune
Unless
them
you
or
really have
anything,
to.
you gotta get permission.
Even pruning, yes.
So obviously, I mean, this is. It's okay to leave it like that. Huh? That's only.
Yeah.
It's not. It's hard from the house.
Yeah, you get an arborist to come out, and if it has a lot of damage and stuff, then you can get a variance to go ahead and remove it. But we love the trees, and especially the old parts of Pensacola.
Yeah.
And so we'll leave that.
These will actually survive hurricanes.
It's obviously lasted through 3 that I know of.
Probably got a really big root system.
Yes. So we did remove one. It was doing this to the wall of the house. I mean, I'm like trying to see between. You could see it was those two to combine. It was crazy. First bit, I got $16,000 to remove one tree. But it's all over the house. It's got to be dangerous. They had a huge recruiter. It did a good job.
So this house had a couple of updates over the years too. There used to be a door right there at one point.
Kind of like the other house.
They closed up that door, and we're not sure if this was an outdoor porch or what it was at one point. But this section here is the kitchen now. So it has that same tongue and groove ceiling in here, and these have the plastered walls still up, which is all cool and groovy. New hot water heater actually in here, and when we purchased it, it was filled with all our stuff. There was a door here that was 100% sealed up. It's actually on the inside. And you can see all the paneling in there, the tongue and groove. There was really cheap paneling on top of it for some reason. You know,
70s.
good reason to cover that up, right?
I like, again, you have the tall ceilings in here, which is nice. It just feels more open and light and bright.
Yeah.
But a very big difference in terms of the plaster in here versus what I can visually see on the drywall going in over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll definitely be, and over there we're gonna try to go back with a similar trims for the base and for the everywhere.
Yeah.
So that we can try to keep it as historically relevant as we
I
can.
love that.
Newest thing in the house, hot water heater.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's going to go.
and this house has 3 fireplaces.
Oh, well, yeah, you mentioned that.
One of them is hidden in this wall here,
Okay.
and then there's another one over here, and then there's a third one that's hidden in another wall.
So this house had stuff everywhere. You know, it's hard to even see it. One of the bedrooms you couldn't even walk in.
There's a board you
You had no idea. You couldn't get past the actual threshold. But we're pleasantly surprised in most cases because you get these up on pilings. You're worried that, water or termites or settling has made them all wonky and a lot of work. That stuff underneath is expensive.
People don't realize that hoarder houses, the amount of waste to put into a house.
Yeah.
Can actually, we've seen a few houses try to stuff so much. Actually sell that part of the house.
That first dumpster was 9 tons. So think how much was in here.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's,
Yeah, they didn't like us because they had to charge a little.
Yeah, it was overfull, but we're like, I didn't think it would be heavy stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it adds up.
Yeah.
This one we're leave these windows. Actually, we'll talk about them over there.
Well, you can see the original glass too with the ripples and everything.
Old antique
we all
glass.
know it's a fluid, so they are technically moving.
Right. Yeah. It's a nice open area.
Yeah.
Between here. We'll use some of that wood for fill the floor grates when we run real HVAC through the whole fireplace. Yep. We'll leave the fireplace exposed and modernize it a little bit, but it's cool, nice to see. Hatching the plasters and the grass.
And that fireplace was added at a later date. The other 2 fireplaces were already in the house, and then they added it. You'll see it on the outside of the house as well.
Like the pipe coming through that side.
Yeah.
Pellet stove.
That's a bullet? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're saying the doors, and that's that table they're using strippers and stuff, but it has so many coats of paint, yellow down to purple, then down to brown. It's
So you'll strip them and then start over basically.
yeah, we've gone quite a ways on these. We finally got done some bare wood. I think we basically gave up on these to where we're gonna make them smooth and paint them instead of like we were wanting to. He said, "Don't eat out of crock pot." So we're soaking the hardware to get the paint to come
Oh,
off.
is that what that is? Is that lunch? No.
No,
I thought you had chili in there.
Yeah, you don't want to use that crock pot for eating it all night.
No.
It was covered with all the paints.
This is now I've never seen this tool used on a job site other than eating, right? So what are you doing with this new tool?
And you can see some of them.
You scope the hardware. This is just the first pass, but we're gonna save the old hardware and so it looks nice and
You're not gonna go deep.
just straight heat works, and then you can start putting chemicals and stuff in it also if they're real stubborn and you need to do more. Yeah.
That poor gruff pot. It's like, this is not why I was brought into this world.
It wasn't. But you feel like this hardware, it's flipped hardware, it still works. It still works.
But it's great.
And these doors are thinner than other doors, so you have to buy replacements, and the replacements are like white metal and just not as durable. We bought those before and put them in houses, and they just don't last as well. But this has already lasted 100 darn years. Cool. So if we just clean it up and put it back in bought, it's going to be a nice.
You paint it a little bit.
If you have to, just like the doors, we weren't going to paint them. We were going to all wood, but it's getting so much that time consuming. You know, if someone has to work on one door for $2,000 worth of labor, it's not worth it.
But now at least with sand is, and now you can paint it and it looks smooth.
That's right.
With brush strokes. Goobers and year in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And here is windows, so the trim pieces. Trim pieces will go on the window, and this is what we'll be doing, taking these off, which open up the pulleys and the ballast, and so these weights go in there, and the weights attached to these, and so those weights will swing back and forth, but they're old and they're broken and not working. But that helps lift your windows so it's not too heavy, and so
they don't slam shut.
you can still buy new ones, but we'll buy all new ropes and clean up the pulleys so they open and keep it very historic. Unfortunately, there's some antique glass that's broken, but the house next door.
So you may have a parts house.
That's right. We have a parts house.
Yep.
That's part of what we're going to.
That's a great way to place it.
So
We have that in. Stop.
Now, Tim, I didn't realize until Denise went in. That's actually a walk-in closet.
Walking in.
Well, Paul, can you fit?
No.
I'm walking in. Come on here. There's plenty of room in this closet for both of us.
I do like the little piece of wood hanging on the wire.
So we're hoping that will be our HVAC closet.
Okay, it's not going to be a walk-in closet.
A walk-in HVAC.
In the time, that was a walk-in closet.
Yeah. Remember in the Yukon, I got that on the tugboat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Light Turner honors.
That's a piece of cinder for your closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it back. You don't want to hang it on the power wire.
Yeah.
So, yes, it was smaller back then.
People were smaller.
No HVAC could get in the house, so they had a window unit here. The window units were leaking in and
Like this?
causing rot.
Yeah, I see.
We could both
High
have you up.
capacity.
It's like a clown car, always telling people to try to get out.
How did you get in the closet?
So because it's going to be commercial, we're still working with our AC guy to determine if this closet is large enough for a unit or if we're going to have to use one of the other closets.
So this is the only bathroom, and you'll see nice wood blocks under the toilet because this is the floor that is having an issue. It's leaning.
I got my soap in stock.
Yeah, but it wouldn't drain, so they put it up on wood blocks.
Oh, there you go.
We'll be tearing out this bathroom.
So how do you...
Did they just take showers or baths all the time?
Well, they have the blocks so that it goes the direction of the drain. The drain is down there on that end.
Okay.
I grew up in a house that only had one of these. And so, yeah, you can make a curtain around it. You would also have one of those hand wands with a curtain. And it's not as convenient as nowadays.
Yeah.
But we'll pull off the paneling and stuff in this room. This one, it's not original. We were going to take the tub out. We're not 100% at this point. So
I think at minimum we'll probably find another tub that's better, and
right
at minimum. But if it being commercial, it won't need it most likely.
But it's going to be removed here. But does it go back, or is it a new one, or what?
Yeah,
it's Facebook Marketplace.
And this house truly was filled with stuff. You could not get in this bedroom over here when we bought it. It was just so filled with stuff.
Someone redid this bathroom. This is not tile.
That is not tile. That was all done. If I had to guess, in the late 80s,
That's
maybe
where I
early
went
90s.
too.
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
And it's throughout.
Someone was living in this one when, not when we bought it, but not long before that.
I mean, it is throughout.
So hopefully when we take that paneling down, there's no issues hidden behind it.
Oh, true.
And with all the stuff that was in this house, we weren't sure exactly.
Yeah.
There were small things like this is one of the chimneys right here.
Okay.
And we're gonna have to have a little work with the chimney to figure out exactly what. And we're not sure because it's hidden in this wall if we're gonna just cap it off at the ceiling or what, or at the roof line, or what we're gonna have to do.
I don't want to goes for that. That was a closet he
I
was in.
saw it was small.
That was the closet. We removed the closet because the space. You see the space there.
So much like the closet in the other house that used to be there, it was taking up this part of this room.
The white is the space they gained, right? So you couldn't even put a hanger going this way.
No.
But this round circle, see how big this is? That's the frame it took out of this room. So from here, clear over to here to get that little space. So we took that out because if it's going to be an office,
Right.
they want a nice big open room.
So what are we gonna do with the rabbit hole?
We'll close it. We'll patch it. You won't even know the rabbit hole is here.
And I saw the metal.
Split windows.
Oh, that's pretty.
You couldn't even.
You both those up. I don't even know how we'd replace them.
Yeah, you couldn't even. If you want to put those in your house today, the code probably wouldn't even let you even put those in.
It would be hard.
No,
But there's a door there. We'll
about
close it up.
it exists.
yeah, in Florida they're going to be really difficult because we have hurricane codes.
Yeah,
and
but we can have hurricane
There's
shelters.
no historic zone here, right?
There is an area.
There
This one's
are.
not bad.
Yeah.
Couple blocks that way is horrible.
They want you to keep this, keep that.
Yeah.
Fix that.
Yeah,
This-
see this.
This little window at the top, I think, can be really cool. I think once we clean it up and maybe put some stained glass or something on the inside next to it or something. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, it's got a little way to open it right here. Huh?
Yeah.
Honestly,
You'll see the old houses, they have an attic fan that you can turn on, and so you open up little holes like that, and the wind just whips and it keeps your house cool. But this is the only attic access they have there. I don't think it's
well, I'm out.
It's like 2 by
Oh, yeah?
8, like it's small.
I could
Like,
probably fit.
Yeah. You're probably the only one.
it's
I'm
small.
super comfortable up there too.
Yikes.
I popped my head up in there, and that's how I found out that there were 3 fireplaces. I only thought there were 2 at that point. So
Wow.
yeah.
Well, we were just in the other house. It was all exposed in the ceiling. We saw the nanotube, and I'm seeing it here. So I can only envision here what's hiding up there. There's some secrets.
Just something too.
Well, yeah, the wiring will get addressed. You get those little knobs, and that's the part where the wire goes around, and then the tubes go clear through the 2x4, which is nice because they're really small little holes. And nowadays, electricians like to draw big old holes.
This is also a great example of the back side of the lab
Oh,
in
yeah.
plaster because you can see how the lab is nailed to the 2x4s,
The lab
and the
strip,
plaster comes through.
and they push it, and that's how it sticks on. So well.
The goober on the backside holds it.
Right.
That's an art to that.
And adds structure. Yeah.
Not anymore. We
That's
don't do
neat.
that.
I'm excited to see that. What's your timeline on the project here?
So this house will be a little bit faster.
2
We're,
weeks.
we're hoping, we're hoping in the 6-month range. You're hoping 4. Oh,
Wow, should we take a bet?
he doesn't tell me that.
It's just not that bad. Kitchen cabinets are pretty quick for us and
Yeah.
stuff. It really depends on the final inspections on the electric and plumbing and how much we have to change. And it's all electric that will add to it because the plaster wall is going to be hard to get in and out. It'll be slower and tougher. And if it is terracotta in the plumbing, for them to get under, that'll add some more time. Right. Yeah. The accessibility, it just those things out.
We could have that kitchen done like that, but
Yeah.
some of the other stuff.
Oh, you probably want power in the kitchen. So.
So we were just talking about the overall historical changes and how neat it is where you guys are coming in today to continue with that historical change, right? Back in the day when these were built, this was more of a family street. Today, that is not the case. It's a commercial street.
Yeah. 2 lanes to 4 lanes, you lose a little yard, get more traffic. Turns to commercial sometimes because you don't want your little kid playing out in the front yard when it's that close.
Yeah. Or even pulling in for parking. You don't want to
Yeah.
pull into your little driveway with.
That's not a major road, but it's, you get traffic. It's 4 lanes going.
That's the evolution of the neighborhood done. So
What I like about it is, the sisters were excited that someone was going to save it because they had pretty much given up on that other house. It was so bad. And now all their memories of all their childhood, because it's been a family all these years, are going to be able to save and they can come back and visit it.
Sure.
Which I always love that. They're always nervous to ask about it. Like, hey, I know you're going to be fixing this. You think you'd be okay if I came back and looked at it? And I'm like, absolutely, just you're gonna have to remind me because I won't remember half the time.
Yeah.
As they text me, and I gotta show them, and they hug you, and they do cheers.
And
And I'm like, hey, can I bring I might bring the whole family next time. I'm not gonna do this 12 times, but I will do it a couple more, bring them back.
Yeah.
And then it's love it. It's always like it's so much brighter and so much open, and I love that new family do this.
And we've done the same thing. We notice the good memories do come flooding back when we do that for him. So.
And even the neighbor on this one, like the neighbor, he's like, yeah, a bunch of people looked at this. I'm looking to do something with this. Hopefully you can. I'm like, well, we're probably the ones if it happens. So
You're revitalizing neighborhoods.
You know, there's like a one family owned house that kind of went through the chain of title.
Yeah.
That's how it went.
Yeah. So
There's a quick claim that from
it was
thing to the brother, the other thing to the sister.
yeah, it was the brother and sister or sister and sister. I can't remember.
Right.
And then it passed down to their children too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very cool.
No issues with title. Sometimes title companies hate that. They're like, they gotta go back to the micro features.
Yeah. No, this is
It's not putting it on the market ever.
Yep. This,
Legally.
who knows? It's closing, right? Like,
That's
I
right.
guess we're keeping home from.
At one point, there was a like a little concrete half wall between the two houses that we had removed, so that we can decide on our parking and our
Shooting dumpsters in there.
Well, you can see from our backyard neighbors, the residential neighborhood that's behind us, they're all older homes that are very well taken care of.
Yeah.
And this one right next to us is just absolutely beautiful. They did a great job with it, and hopefully we make them happy.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I
This-
have all the confidence.
This is pretty much the divider, and it's all it gets really nice. You can go that way
Okay.
towards the water. And so the commercial business along there, a lot of cottage businesses that, they keep it local, the local bakery, the local pizza place, the local, whatever it may be. And so it'll be nice to have, those local businesses, old historic houses that have been here for a while.
Yeah, I'm glad you're able to save them.
Yeah.
I think they got their salvage. They're not too
That other was close. I mean, even after he went in, he goes, yeah, you better go talk to code and make sure we're okay. So I went down there to show him and talk to him, and they're like, no, you're good. And I'm like, all right.
Well, this has been awesome, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you for the tour. 3 homes. I love it. You're gonna say
No, go ahead.
I'll
No,
just say,
no.
for our YouTube warriors out there, I'm curious, when we did our tour today on on these 2 for homes, what do you think in terms of keeping the house to refresh it or tear it down and replace it? What are your thoughts on that? Be curious to know. And we'll be so sure to circle back around with you guys, maybe get some after pictures too, see how you guys are doing.
Okay.
Or maybe we'll just have to come back to Pensacola in another year.
I don't
We'll see what's going on.
I don't go back in 2 weeks when it's done.
The next year we'll be back.
Yes.
I think that tenant whoever would be fine.
Sure. But you said a year over there, so I don't know.
Well, we did that. We actually did that. We went to some of the neighbors
Yeah.
and their old commercial buildings, and we were knocking on the door, and it was, kind of like, what do you want? I'm like, I want to look around your place,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then we'd explain and point out the building. And yes, and then all of a sudden they're showing us the whole thing,
Yeah.
letting us know and giving us that's why we're going like a kitchenette in the small areas,
Mhm.
because like we'd rather have more space in the kitchen, just little things like that.
You can bring more clients in that way.
Market research.
It's hard to reach.
One door at a time.
Well, I'm excited to see your transformation. This is beautiful, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We do it.
All right, and we'll see
All right.
you in the field.
Feel.